Part two. Part two. This is part two of my Majin Buu Saga review rant. In the last part, I left off on talking about the plot and plot holes, how already the plot of this saga already ruins it for me. But let's pretend I still care for what happens after Majin Buu is released. So not only did Supreme Kai not tell them about the spit, but another problem I had was that Supreme Kai is supposed to be a god. And one thing about gods, they're supposed to be all knowing. I will not have a god this idiotic, man. Supreme Kai and the other characters in the show, Goku and Gohan, they actually believed that Vegeta was truly on their side. They believed that Vegeta, at no point in the series, the lure of more power would not cause him to switch sides. Would not cause him to switch sides. And what's his name? They actually believed Vegeta wouldn't turn on them because he was so-called reformed. He was so-called reformed and not the old way he was, even though this bastard has killed in the past and has on numerous times, as on numerous occasions, been selfish. I can understand Goku and Gohan a little bit because of the Saiyan pride, but Supreme Kai, no. No. He should have known that Vegeta at some point would turn against him. That he would be the major factor in releasing Majin Buu. In releasing Majin Majin Buu and Vegeta and of course then Vegeta, I can't stand the Vegeta character, but the Majin Buu saga was Vegeta at his worst. At least with Saiyan and Namek saga, he was a decent villain and anti-hero, and he was an okay anti-hero in the Cell saga. I thought Super Saiyan Vegeta sucked apart from his music and Brian Drummond voicing him. Brian Drummond voicing him, but Super Vegeta, the next one, the Ascended Saiyan Vegeta, was badass. Was badass. That's actually when Goku and Vegeta should have had their fight, not here in the Buu Saga, where both of these characters are technically irrelevant. Gohan is the man, and so are Goten and Trunks, who I'm about to get to in a minute. Vegeta plain out sucked. Majin Vegeta sucked. His reason for turning evil was incredibly stupid. All of this honor, Goku stole his honor. Goku did this. I would sympathize with Vegeta more if he was smarter and then cause every single bad thing that ever happened to him in the series. It's his fault he can't catch up to Goku. Then one big plot hole is, how did Goku get Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta can't? How did Goku, what in spirit world could give Goku Super Saiyan 3, but Vegeta training on Earth as hard as he can't obtain it? Like I said, just stupid, lazy writing and more BS to drag this crappy saga out longer than it needed to be, man. But since the main heroes technically caused the release of the Majin Buu, I don't care. And then they misuse the ball's power to restore everything, which cheapens the villain. That cheapens the villain. The fact that he could kill all these people he didn't deserve to kill. Yes, I didn't like that one bit. Nothing in the Majin Buu saga made me sad. Everything in this saga, every bad thing Majin Buu in this saga did made me angry because he didn't earn nothing. He didn't earn the deaths of all the people he killed, and he damn sure didn't earn to blow up the earth, man. But he had to do that to separate him from Cell and the previous villains because Majin Buu was a lazy, uninspired villain. He was original because no one would write some garbage like this. The only series I know where villains were with villains like Majin Buu or Doomsday, but that's more Cell. That's more Cell, and that was more science. And Gigas from World Heroes, the video game, SNK game, World Heroes. But even that was more science fantasy based. This is the only thing original about him because no one would write this, not even in fantasy, man. Fantasy, man. But continuing, yeah. So yeah, Vegeta turning evil. Majin Vegeta was so failed. Then it was even more failed because not only this power up was useless because Goku was holding back the whole time, which I had a problem with. That meant Vegeta's actions were okay, and the universe. So and Vegeta's pride, his foolish pride, was more important than the entire human race, your family, and your friends and everything. Because you drug out the fight with him instead of killing this bastard, or at least knocking him out, or at least doing anything to prevent from fighting. You chose to fight. Then Vegeta didn't it failed to stop Majin Buu, and like I said, he was holding back the whole time. Like I said, Majin Vegeta. Actually, all the power ups here suck except for Mystic, but even that was useless in the end. Then of course we got Goten and Trunks. Goten and Trunks plain out sucked, man. Worst characters ever. I like their GT counterparts, but Dragon Ball Z, Kid Goten and Trunks, which I got to put up with in the follow-up series, Super, Katsuno no F, and Battle of Gods, those those two suck. I hated the fact that the greatest thing about Dragon Ball was the Super Saiyan power. Was the Super Saiyan power. These guys, without training, would could immediately become Super Saiyan. That is some of the biggest BS ever. And I just hated how childish it was. How childish the Super Saiyan thing was reduced to a child plaything. I hated that, man. And I hated it. And Gotenks, he sucked too. Never got serious. And it was predictable. While he was fighting, I knew he was going to lose. The time was going to run out. The fight was okay, good, but what you call it? Vegito sucked too, because the build up to all of these things suck. And I wanted Gohan and Goku to form Vegito. That's another reason I can't. The sacrifice Vegeta. Not only was it not sad, but he comes back later, ruining death in this series, ruining deficit. But I hate that he came back and stole the spotlight from my main man Gohan. I wanted Gohan and Goku to form this Vegito and destroy or obliterate Majin Buu, man. No, we had Gohan get killed and we had Vegeta as the main. We had Vegeta as the main character, and the characters who, like I said in the first one, the characters who pretty much were responsible for Majin Buu, Hercule, Fat Buu, Supreme Kai, Goku, and Vegeta. They technically saved the world. The guys who were technically technically responsible, and Vegeta. All these actions supposedly make him a good guy, even though all of this was his fault in the first place. I'm not accepting that. Croc, man. The worst saga ever. The Majin Buu Saga. This is a short rant right here. I'm going to later do a, much later, do a longer webcam. Do a longer two-part webcam raging rant. Because like I said, this right here pisses me off. And this right here ruins anything good about Dragon Ball Z, about Dragon Ball Z, man. Like I said, there are only a couple of good things about that, mainly being Gohan's development. But this right here was the worst saga of all time, man. And no matter how you watch it, it is connected to the series, man. Worst one of all time. I would rather watch the weaker Dragon Ball sagas and the filler sagas of Dragon Ball Z than watch this. That's how terrible. That's how terrible this was. And then screwing Gohan out of the main character role. Now, Gohan defeating Buu quickly would be anticlimactic, even though that's what you build up to. That fight should have been over as it started. Gohan in no way should have lost to Majin Buu. But to have him to have him get absorbed, man. To have him get absorbed, forcing us to bring back that loser, Vegeta. Then I hated how happy Goku was to see Vegeta, even though all of this was his fault, man. That's the one thing I can't stand. I can't stand Vegeta as a good guy, man. I hate how you did a good job of making me hate this bastard. Then in the next saga, I hate how the characters, every character except Tien, is so willing to team up with Vegeta despite his actions, his past actions. Bulma gets in a relationship with Vegeta, which wasn't even set up, man. When Namek was disgusted by him, and then on here on Earth is all of a sudden flirty with him. Just the biggest, one of the worst, and the worst relationship in fiction. It's amazing when you make the three-person love triangle in Twilight seem good in comparison, man. Yeah, you got Kid Trunks who sucks, and now I gotta put up with more of that in the sequels. Goten sucks. Like I said, man, Hercule had a larger role, and the people still believe he was the champion of the universe, the despite Dragon Ball taking place with all the key attacks and stuff being proven to be real, the Saiyan stuff, and Hercule losing the cell from which you from which you can see on the screen that Hercule's punches and kicks have no effect on Cell. So how is Hercule the strongest at any point? And the people still believe he is the champion of the universe, man. The champion of the universe. Like I said, one of the worst sagas, worst sagas ever, man. Worst sagas ever, man. Yeah. So yeah, this was my rant on this was my review rant on the Majin Buu Saga. Sometime in the future, I'm gonna do a longer raging rant. I want to do the Cell sagas and Buu sagas first because I already did the Saiyan and Namek sagas. I already did the Saiyan and Namek sagas, but I'm gonna redo those too. Then I'm also gonna do narration versions of Super Fakatsu no F and Battle of God since my I already did webcam versions of those. All right, well, this was my review. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot. Yamcha, Krillin, and them. I did not like their deaths on the Lookout. And when Boo invaded the Lookout, I immediately now I got to see Krillin do the Destructo Disc, but I immediately wanted to see not only Krillin doing the Destructo Disc, but I want to see Android 18 fighting. I want to see I wanted to see Yamcha break out a Spirit Ball and Wolf Fang Fist on Majin Buu. Majin Buu, we didn't get to see none of that. Instead, we had Krillin trying to distract him while telling everyone to run, which did prove fatal because Majin Buu did a did a multiple chocolate blasts, which turned everyone to chocolate and had all of them eaten. I hated that. And Gotenks pretty much set up that, man. I understand the moral of that was to show you a world without Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, what would happen, and that's what happened. But I hated that because, like I said, Majin Buu, he didn't earn not a single character death in that film, man. Not a single of the main cast he didn't earn, and yeah, and the plot holes like Majin Buu absorbing Daikaio and the other Kais, but yet when he releases, he immediately attacks Supreme Kai. Yet he hesitates when yet since he has the Fat Buu in him, when he hesitates to attack Hercule and Videl the first time. Then he breaks that by breaking out and killing and feasting on Videl anyway. So that's another plot hole. Then later, when he absorbs Gotenks and Piccolo, he gets a mind. He gets their minds. He he's still able to fight Gohan despite the relationship they have with him. So that's another plot hole. And why don't we see? And how is the Fat Buu a cocoon? He was eaten, killed. He was eaten. How is he a cocoon inside Boo's body? How is why didn't we see any of the Kais there? Why didn't we see any of the Kais there? Like I said, massive plot holes. Majin Buu being killed by a spirit bomb, a Kai level technique, despite the fact he's supposed to be equivalent. He's supposed to be immune to Kai magic. And before anyone says the spirit bomb is not magic, yes it is. It takes energy from non-key users, even people who do not know how to control where their key goes. So it is definitely magic. But like I said, there was so much BS. There was so much BS in the Majin Buu saga and in the series as a whole. Well, like I said, this was my review rant on the Majin Buu saga. All right, I'm done.